A very warm welcome to the HTML class. So today we are going to discuss on HTML basic topics, the introduction of HTML, why do we use HTML, what is HTML first of all, and what are the tags that are involved in the HTML. Alright, so today we'll be completely on HTML. And so HTML. I've just written a HTML, but what is HTML? Stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So this is basically a front-end language that which is used to create a web page and show the content on the internet and on the browser. I can call it as in short. So HTML is a standard markup language for creating the web pages and for describing the structure and the documents that are involved and the content of a web page. So this basically consists of a series of elements and consists of a series of elements, and each individual element in particular tells the browser on how to display the content. Alright, so HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language that is used to create a web page, and this consists of a series of elements with which each and individual element that we write in the language tells the browser on how to display the content. Okay. So I've just written like hypertext markup language. But what is hypertext? What is a markup? And on total, like what is this language? So hypertext is the hypertext basically links to different web pages, or I wouldn't just confine it to two different web pages, but it will help the user in order to link or connect different web pages one to another. Alright, and what is a markup? If I'm saying that hypertext is used to connect or link web pages to one another, either like within a one single website or different websites, different pages, but link is basically the fundamental aspect that we are using in the web. But how do I link it? For that purpose we have this markup. Okay, so markup is basically used to annotate text, images or content that which is used to display in the web pages. So I can simply say it as annotate content. How do I annotate a content? With the help of elements. Okay, so HTML is an element, head is an element, body is an element. So with the help of these elements, HTML uses this markup in order to annotate those text. So hypertext markup language is basically the building block, the most basic building block of the web, that which is used to define the meaning and the structure of any web content. Other than this HTML, what are the other technologies that I use in order to describe my web page, its appearance or its presentation or its look? Is that besides HTML, I'll be using CSS or and JavaScript in order to make my web page look more presentable. Okay, so For appearance or presentation, we'll be using CSS, and for its functionality and behavior, we'll be using JavaScript, and for the whole structure of our web page, we'll be using HTML. Alright, so these are the basic key words or key things that you have to remember, like what is HTML and what is the use of HTML and the definition of HTML. So I'll just repeat it once again. HTML is a standard front-end markup language that which is used to create a web page. It stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and this describes the structure of a web page. It consists of a series of elements, and we call each an individual element in particular if we would like to display the content in that particular way. It tells the browser. Okay, so yeah, next, what is hypertext means? It will help the user in order to link to different web pages, different websites from one page to another page, and markup is used in order to annotate our elements or the content that we would like to display on our web page. These are the basic keywords that you have to know, like what is a web page, what is the web, and how do we display the content on the web. Is for suppose I'm just opening Safari, and if I'm just opening google.com, so Safari, Google Chrome, Mozilla, Edge, Internet are basically the web browsers, and google.com is a web page. So in this will be a web page, and our browse and HTML, for suppose I'm just not talking correctly about google.com, but whatever the content or whatever the web page that we'll have to display, we use HTML, standard markup language. Okay, and Safari will be the web browser in here. And now I understood Safari is a web browser that I'm using right now, and considering Google as a web page, and now I have to use a markup language that is HTML in order to structure this web page. So how do I do it? So what is the main thing that I'll have to do, like to make this work out, is with the help of a text editor. Alright, so if you're using a Windows, I would suggest you to use either Notepad or Notepad++ in order to write your HTML code. Since I'm using a Mac, I'll be using a TextEdit. If not, if there is some other text editor that you would like to use, you can use either your Visual Studio Code. Okay, either VS Code or TextEdit or Notepad++ works in order to write your HTML document. So yeah, so you have written a HTML document in your Visual Studio or Notepad, for suppose. So how do you save the document? Is with the extension of .html. Okay, so you will have to save any HTML document that you will be writing with the help of .html extension itself. Your file name .html. Please remember this. Please save your HTML page with .html. File name .html. For example, file1.html, file2.html. So whatever the file name that you would like to denote, please denote your names and then use the .html extension in order to save your document. Okay, just save the file with the .html and you can open it using any web browser of your choice. It can be Google Chrome web apps or anything. Edge. Save the file with .html extension and open it using a web browser of your choice. So how do I write my HTML document? Is with the help of HTML tags. Okay, with the help of HTML tags you can write your HTML document. What is a tag? Tag is a keyword on a web page that which defines how your web browser must format or display your web page. Format and display your web page. It will help how you want your content to be displayed. And almost all the tags that you may use will contain a open tag and also a close tag. Okay, so what is this open tag, what is this close tag, what is a we even have container tags, empty tags, single tags. So what are all these tags? In short, I'll just say that we understood that tag is something, a keyword that which is used to to define how our web browser must format and display our web page. But I'm displaying a web page, but how do I use this tag? Is HTML will use its predefined tags. Okay, whatever the tag you have, it is already predefined and it will tell the web browser that this is how you have to display the content. If you are using this tag, then you have to display the content in that manner. That is why we call this as predefined tags. Okay, so these are basically the instructions that are enclosed in angle braces. So whatever the content we are giving, if you are giving in tags, we call those as instructions that are already predefined, and once we are giving any content in that particular tag, the web browser accepts it and displays the content in a similar fashion. Okay, so this is how we give an open tag, and in the case of close tag we'll have to simply use a slash in between our angular braces. Okay, so this is how you write a open tag, and with the help of slash in between the angular braces we'll use a closing tag. Okay, so these are basically used in many places in our web page, so please don't get confused like how do we use it, what are the different tags that we use, what is this container tag, what is this empty tag, and all that. We'll get to know this, but always remember that if you are opening a tag you should even close it. Okay, if you are opening a tag, please remember to close the tag as well. Okay, so in that case we have this container tags and also empty tags. So what are these container tags? So container tags means, for suppose if I'm writing HTML, so in between this angular braces we have some content in it, like HTML content in it, and I'm going to close it with the help of slash. Okay, slash angular braces slash and then the content like HTML, and then I'm closing the tag. So we can call this as on and off tags also. HTML, if this is a on tag, then closing will be a off tag. So always remember that opening and closing tags are always used in pairs. Okay, which are like start tag and also end tag, which are called as on and off tags as well. But if you are forgetting, like if you do not if you are not closing this tag, container tag, for suppose I just use a title, I've just used a title tag and then I forgot to close the title tag, then the browser applies this particular tag effect, opening tag effect, until the end of the page. Okay, if you're using a title tag, right, and if you're forgetting how to close the title tag, the browser will take the title tag opening itself, and then it will apply this particular effect, title effect, to the end of the page, which is not actually exactly what we wanted. So please always remember to close any tag, any container tag that you're opening, to close it as well. Majority of the tags that we use in HTML are basically container tags only. So if you're opening any tag, please close it also. Okay, so yeah, the basic essential tags we use in HTML are HTML open, HTML closing tag, head open and then closing tag, and title and then closing tag, and also body and then closing tag. Okay, these are the basically 4 essential tags that we use in our HTML. Please remember this at least 4 tags, that which creates the structure of our web page. And if I say HTML, right, this will mark as a beginning of our web page. Okay, any web page that we would like to create, we'll always have to have a beginning, right? So the beginning will be our HTML tag itself, which will tell the document that this particular file or this particular document that we are using, that we are sending it to the web browser, is basically a HTML document. Okay, so HTML tag will let the browser know that this particular document is a HTML document. And any tag that you will be using in the HTML should be in between this HTML tag itself. So any content, head, title, body, should be in between the HTML tag itself. So this is basically the beginning of any web page, and also ending of our any web page that we'll be using. And head tag is the head section of our body, head part of our document. Okay, head part of our document. This contains the information related to our web page. So any information that we would like to give to our web page will be in the head document, and the title tells the description of our web page. Okay, description of our web page will be in the title. For suppose it will just store the description. For suppose here google.com is there, right, that which is present in the tab. This google.com, if I am taking it in a tab, this Google is the title of our web page. Without going into this web page, I can simply say that this page consists of Google, information on Google. So this will be the title. Okay, so whatever the tags that is appearing on the tab names, right, when we are opening any browser, that will describe in our head tag itself. The title will be described in our head tag only. Always remember, title will always be in our head tag. And next, the body. So what is this body then? So any information that we would like to display on our web page, or the data, like, or any information or the data that we would like to display on a web page, that should be displayed to the user, should be in the body section. Okay, please remember the 4 HTML essential tags: HTML, head, title, and the body. Alright, so we'll be just doing one sample web page right now and see how it works. You can either use a text edit, Notepad, Notepad++, or a Visual Studio. Let me use a Visual Studio. Go to this Visual Studio, file, new text file, and as I said, any document should start with a HTML tag. So I'm just giving a HTML tag, opening a HTML tag, and then giving a head, and in the head I'll be having a title, and the title I'm writing it as first web page. Okay, I'm closing the title. So if you're using Visual Studio, right, the closing tag will be automatically enclosed, and after title I'll be closing the head tag as well, and only after closing my head tag I'll be opening my body tag. So please understand the structure of this. First will be HTML and then head section, and in the head we'll be using a title and then closing the title, and then we'll be closing head section as well, and only after opening the head section of our document we'll be opening a body section. And in the body section there are different tags. Okay, I'll be even closing my body section, and I'll be even closing my HTML section as well. And I'll just save the document for now as file1 .html. So okay, I'm just saving the document as file1 .html. Save, and then run the document, run and debug in Chrome. I think yeah. So what exactly has happened here is that I haven't given any body section. I just put it empty without any body. I've just gave my HTML, closed my HTML, opened a head, and then return a title, close the title, close the head, and in the body section I haven't given anything. But this document consists of only title, that is first web page, which is displayed in my tab name. Okay, so remember that title is used to display the tag name content. Okay, so whatever the content you want your tab to be displayed on should be given in the title tag. Okay, so in the title I have given first web page, and I got the first web page in my tab name, and then I have to write something in my body as well, right? So we'll see different tags that we'll be using in order to write in our body. The first thing is the headings. We'll start with the headings itself. Okay, so headings. So any file, any document we see will have a web heading. So heading tag is basically used to define the heading of any particular HTML document. So how do we denote it as is with the help of h1. Okay, with the help of h1, h2, closing, opening h1, so closing h1, h2, closing h2, h3. So in similar way we have until h6. So we have basically 6 headings, and each of different sizes. This is the most important tag, and remember that h1 gives the highest heading size and h6 gives the least. It defines the least heading size, and in between it is always in the descending order, which starts from h1 until h6. We'll see how it works. For suppose I'm just giving h1 to h6. In the body section itself, whatever the content you want your page to be displayed has to be in the body section. So in the heading h1 I'm giving as first heading, and similarly just understand the content. first heading in all, just see the how the size changes. Refresh the page. All right, so what exactly has happened here is that my tab name has given me first web page with the help of title, and then in the body section, title should always be in the head, and in the body section I have given headings from h1 to h6, which is basically in the descending order, with h1 giving the highest importance with the highest size, and then h6 giving the least importance, and the rest of it all are all in the descending order from h2 to h6. Please understand this. And we have another tag as a paragraph. Okay, so paragraph you have to give in p tag. Okay, so with the help of p tag I'm going to give a paragraph and reload it. So yeah, so with the help of p tag, always if you're opening any tag, please even close the tag. Okay, so paragraph I'm opening it and closing it. This is, if you're opening anything and closing anything, then we call it as a container tag, and so paragraph is also a container tag. Okay, and then after we have text formatters. For suppose paragraph, I want it to be in bold way, text formatting. Okay, in a bold way. So in the paragraph I'll be using as B as in bold, and just understand the difference. Okay, so paragraph we got it in bold way, and if I want it to be in italic, everything should be in the body section itself. So if I want it to be in italic, I'll be using I. Okay, B for bold and I for italic. Okay, so this is the difference. So headings from h1 to h6, paragraph with p tag, and then paragraph and bold with p tag and also b tag, and paragraph in italic way. So I'm using a p tag and also I tag. Okay, and so we have few other text formattings as well. For suppose if you wanted to emphasize any text, then you have to use em. Okay, em tag is used to emphasize any text. So we got our text in emphasized way, and this particular text will always be in a italic way. Okay, and then after, if you want to underline any paragraph, underline any text, then you have to give in u tag. Okay, let me just give you an example. I want my paragraph to be underlined, so I'm going to give this in a u tag. Okay, so to underline I'll be using a u tag, and which is enclosed in paragraph, because I want it to be underlined. And then we have other tags such as strong, in text formatting. Always remember to write any content in the body itself, and save the HTML page with the .html extension, and then you have to view the HTML page in your web browser. Okay, this is the basic for any HTML document that we'll be using. And we even have a doc type declaration as well, doc type declaration with the HTML, which represents the document type, and also it will help the browser to display our web page correctly. We'll use it as well. And for suppose if I want, if I want my text to be deleted, let me just use a paragraph. And I'm teaching CSS. So if I want CSS to be deleted, instead I'm using HTML, right? So in that case I'll be using del. This is just for your knowledge that we have such a tag. And delete tag is used to delete or erase a particular thing. I wouldn't say like permanently erasing it, but it will just strike out the particular text that you will be writing. So delete tag is used to strike out a particular text, and after striking out, if you wanted to insert some other text in it, then we'll be using insert tag. And insert, I'm will writing just HTML. Okay, instead I'm teaching CSS, I'm only teaching HTML in this class. So yeah, so delete has helped my text to be striked out, and insert has given a HTML text. And then if we want a particular thing to be having a strong importance, or to let the browser or a user know that this text has a strong important, it is an important text kind of it, then we'll be using strong tag. Strong tag is used to let the user know that this is an important text. Okay, so yeah, so yes, using a strong tag we can understand that this is one important text, and it has to be in a bold way, and it has to be given the strong importance as well. And if you want a particular text, for suppose in the books we'll use a highlighter, right, in order to mark any some text or a paragraph. In a similar way, even in HTML we have a mark kind of it. HTML should be highlighted, is a front end language. Okay, so yeah, HTML is a front end language, and I got this HTML as marked, like it is highlighted here with the help of mark tag. But I want this HTML is a front end language to be in the next line. So what do I do is use a break tag. Okay, BR stands for break tag. This will help any particular text to be broke. I mean the line will be cut off then and there itself, and you will get a text in a new line. Okay, in such a case you will have to use a break tag. If you want your text to be interpreted in a new line, then you will be using a break tag. And see one thing, for HTML I have a opening tag, closing tag. Head I have a opening tag, closing. Title I have a opening tag and also closing tag. Body also I have a opening tag and also a closing tag. Similarly, for all headings and paragraphs, bold, italic, emphasize and all, I have a opening tag and also a closing tag. But for break, I have simply used a opening tag, but I have not used any closing tag. I haven't used any slash or anything in order to close my break. So for such particular tags, we call those as empty tags. Okay, HTML with HTML head, body and all those opening and closing tags will come under container tags, but break kind of tags will be coming under empty tags. For suppose any tag that do not contain any closing tags are known as empty tags, and These tags contain only an opening tag, but they perform any action in the web page. Okay, even if you're not closing the tag also, they perform that particular action and will be done. That's it. Okay, so this is one such empty tag that we'll be using. And also we have another tag such as HR. So if break inserts a new line break in the web page, if this will insert a new line break, HR is like a horizontal line, okay, horizontal rule or horizontal line that which will be inserted anywhere we want. For suppose I'm just using a HR, okay, at the end of the page. So what will happen is that after HTML is a front end language, I'll be getting a line. So with the help of HR, you will be getting a line. And similarly, we have other empty tags such as link, image, input, meta, source, and all. Even those will be called as empty tags. Okay, so in today's class we have understood what is HTML, the use of HTML, the basic structure and the basic language, like basic essential tags we use in HTML, such as HTML head, title, body, headings, paragraphs, and few text formatting elements such as bold, italic, emphasize, underline, strong, delete, insert, mark. And we have used empty tags such as break and horizontal line. Similarly, we'll be knowing one more tag, that is anchor tag. For suppose if I want my page to display google.com, so in such case we'll be using a anchor tag, and that will be denoted with the help of A. Okay, so A stands for anchor tag. And this is one of the most crucial HTML elements with its own attribute, that is href. Href is basically an attribute that will create a hyperlink to any web page. So my hyperlink, the URL that I'll be using is google.com. So I'll be writing this URL in href attribute, and I'll be closing the anchor tag, and on clicking the Google I should get this link. Okay, so this Google, on clicking this Google, this should address and give a hyperlink to another web page. So we'll be running this. Okay, I got a Google anchor, and on clicking this Google, this has given me my Google web page. Alright, so this is one of the most crucial element, and simply understand that as it as a HTML element with its own href attribute used to create a hyperlink. Okay, always remember this is used to create a hyperlink to, it can be any web page, any file, email, location, anything, but this will take us to that particular link's destination. Alright, so yeah, so this is today's class, and tomorrow we'll understand few more basic tags that we'll be using in HTML. Thank you all. You can please contact me just in case if you're not able to understand anything, and that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.